Subscribe to AmpCode and ring the notification bell to get the latest content.
Hello and welcome back. In the previous lectures, we have seen all about the basics of Kafka and how it works under the hood. So in this lecture, let's get our hands dirty and set up Kafka on our local machine so that we can get started working with it and also learn a lot of new things. So without further ado, let's get into it. So basically for installing the Kafka, there is one prerequisite you need to cover, that you should be having the Java development kit or the JDK installed on your system. We have already done that while setting up Hadoop and Spark in our system. So if you followed those tutorials, it is already set up in your machine. If not, just go ahead and install JDK. So once we do that, it's a pretty simple process. We just need to change few configurations for the properties file and we're good to go. So without wasting any time, let's jump on to your favorite browser and search for download Kafka. So you just have to search for download Kafka and you will get to the Apache Kafka.org, which is the official website for all the new releases of open source Kafka. So we are going to install open source only, so we may need to have Confluent Kafka as well. So we'll see that in the next lecture, or else the open source Kafka will do just fine for this tutorial. So the first step would be like you have to just download the tar file where we can extract it and just set some configurations and kick off our Kafka service. So basically, as you can see, the 3.7.0 is nothing but the latest version while recording this video. This might be different for you, but that doesn't matter. You just have to go ahead and open it for Scala 2.13. So I'll just click on it and the file will get downloaded. So let's wait for it to complete. Okay, so it seems our file has been downloaded. So before extracting it, let's create one folder. So I'll just copy this file and move ahead to the C drive where I can easily install Kafka. So I'll just create a new folder here which is known as Kafka. Let's keep that simple, and inside here I can just put the file and extract here itself. So I'll just go ahead and give the path to our Kafka folder. So I'll just say that unzip here. So as you can see, the folder has been created, but it created another folder inside a folder. So I'll just go ahead and paste it into the C drive. So we can maybe delete this Kafka folder and then rename it to Kafka itself. So I'll just go ahead and just rename it to Kafka. That's so simple. So once we have all the installation, all you have to do is go into the config, and here we just want to modify some of the files to get the logs for our Kafka. So the first file will be the server properties. So I'll just open it into one of the code editors. I'm using VS Code here, but you can choose your own. So here, as you can see, all you have to do is modify the log. So as you can see, it is creating the temp folder here, which we don't want. So I already have a path for it. So here we are going to store it into the C drive in the Kafka logs folder. So as you can see, in the temp, instead of temp, we'll give the path to C Kafka folder where it will store all the logs. So I'll just save it over here, and after that I'm just going to open the another one, which is Zookeeper properties, because Zookeeper service is also required before kicking off our Kafka service. So I'll just go ahead and open this and then paste the same thing again. So in Kafka we'll have like Zookeeper data. So we have to get the Zookeeper directory here. So here it is again in the temp path, which we don't want. So I'll just save it over here, and then we will be ready to kick off our Kafka. So to kick off our Kafka, all you have to do is go into the Kafka folder, and in bin directory you will see all the batch files we can directly kick off. So as you can see, we have like the .sh files. So if you are extracting or may want to run your Kafka on a Ubuntu system or a Linux box, then you have to use this bin folder where all the shell script you can directly kick off to start the service. But since it's a Windows machine, so for that purpose we will be needing the batch files which has the extension of .bat. So those are all present in the Windows folder. So if you go inside the Windows, all the same files which are in the shell script format are present in the batch format here. So here we got the Kafka broker, the Kafka configs, as well as the server start and the server stop, which we need right now. So all we can do is we have set of commands to kick off Zookeeper first and then Kafka. Let's talk about it, how we can kick it off. So as you can see, once we got all the properties set, we have to go to the Kafka home we have extracted our Kafka. So which is basically will go to the Windows, will basically go to the bin directory, then Windows, then pick up the zookeeper server start batch file, and then we'll pass all the zookeeper properties. And after that we are going to go ahead and kick off the Kafka server-start.bat file, which starts our Kafka service. So first we'll kick off the zookeeper and then we'll come on to the Kafka server. Let's do that now. So all you have to do is just copy this command. I'll be giving this in the I'm giving this in the description below so that you can go ahead and start executing and kick off your Kafka cluster. So I'll just copy this, and in the C drive where we have the Kafka folder, you just have to go inside there, and from here you have to just type cmd, which open the command prompt for you, and just in the Kafka all you have to do is paste that command and it will be good to go. So I'll just paste it and hit enter. So as you can see, it is doing all this groundwork to start off and kick off the Zookeeper server. It may take maybe 10 to 15 seconds depending upon the system performance. So as you can see, for me it has been already started up. So I'll just minimize this and we have to again kick off the new command prompt. So I'll just open the another cmd prompt and we have another command to kick off our Kafka service. So basically I'll just go ahead and copy this and paste it over here. Just hit enter. That's all you have to do to kick off our Kafka service. So this will be one time activity, which means that you have to do it before start your whole process. Okay, so you have to start the Kafka service manually by running these two commands when you start your work. So just this is also started. So Kafka we have successfully ran. So this is how you can set up Kafka on Windows PC, and the similar kind of process is also there for Mac users as well. So once we got the service, just to test it out, we'll just create one topic named test, and then we can push some data to that topic and then consume it in real time. That will be really fun. Let me tell you how to do that. So all you have to do is go into the Windows folder here. So I'll just go ahead and go into the Kafka, into bin, and in Windows. So here we have all the batch files, as you already know. So we need like the Kafka topic.bat file, which gives us the capability to create the topic. So there are a few arguments that we need to pass, which is nothing but the create argument, which is telling that we are creating a topic. After that we have to give the server address, which is localhost 9092, as well as we have the replication factor as 1, partition as 1, and the topic name, which is test. So I'll just go ahead and copy this command, and once you go into the Windows, just open another command prompt. I know this will be very fun, opening several command prompts to able to process the data in real time. So I'll just hit command. So as you can see, we got a warning that the test topic is already there, so we don't have to create it. So when you start it initially, you will not be having this topic, so you can directly create it by using this command. I'll be giving you in the description below, so don't worry about it. So our next step is, once we got the topic created, here we have to produce some data and push into it, right? So I'll just go ahead and hit our next command. So our next command is nothing but which will kick off our Kafka console producer. So we are pushing the data from console and it is going to consume it and store it in the topic. So I'll just go ahead and just run this command. So here we are passing all the server details as well as the topic, which is test. So I'll just go ahead and just start the consumer here. So as you can see, this consumer has started, so we can push the data, and on the other hand we can consume it. So for consuming it, it's the same process. All you have to do is just start the consumer in another command prompt. So I know there are a lot of command prompts, so and some of you might enjoy that as well. So let's see. So all you have to do is just go ahead and start another command prompt here, and from here we are going to start our consumer service. So I'll just start the consumer in here, and there you go. So once we push the data, it will get into the consumer. So in the producer, which is here, let's push some data. So here we are going to see that Kafka is awesome. So I'll just go ahead, and there you go, we got the data already. So let's push some data here, maybe this is real time, and once you push this, we'll quickly go ahead and go to the consumer to see if it reflects in real time. So I'll just hit enter. So here, as you can see, it's not there, so I'll just give here enter, and there you go, it happened in just a matter of second. So this is how Kafka works under the hood. It is consuming the data from the consumer, storing it into the topic which is test, and then we can able to consume it on the real, and we are able to consume it on in real time on the console itself. This is really fun. So in the next topics, let's have some advanced hands-on tutorials and integrate all the different services with Kafka using Kafka Connect. So I'll see you in the next one.
So that's it for today. I'll see you in the next lecture.